Sleeper added rookies. So now we are going to be able to go through and get some live 2023 Dynasty rookie drafts going. Super excited for this. We got the 101. I wonder how that happened. But before we get into it, make sure you drop a like on this video. If you have not done so already, subscribe to the channel. If you play Dynasty Fantasy Football, please only if you play Dynasty. And of course, if you want to check out any of these player props for this weekend, if you want to get into a draft with us in the live stream, we did over 700 last year. Or if you want our 2023 Dynasty Fantasy Football rankings, you can find all that on Underdog Fantasy. When you sign up for Underdog with promo code FLOCK, they are also going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. Available in damn near every state. You can find the link in the comment section, description, and live chat. But I think that should be it. Let's go through. Let's start this bad boy off. And it looks like Sleeper does not have these in order. So luckily, we have the 101. So we get to just look our guy up easily here without having to think about it. We are going to go ahead. We are going to take Bijan Robinson at 1. Unsure if you've heard of this guy. My favorite thing about him is going to be his decision-making ability. We saw this as early as 17, 18 years old. The man had an option to go anywhere he wanted in the country. And you know where he decided to go? The University of Texas at Austin. Hook 'em horns, the best decision-making you're ever going to see. So for that reason, and that reason alone, he's obviously worth the 101. I mean, he's worth the 101 for a couple different reasons. Phenomenal pass catcher, size to be a true 3-down player. He can handle 25-plus touches a game, and at the same time, he can be a running back that's top 5 in the NFL in targets. Very hard to find someone with that profile. The one fault on that profile is going to be he's not an elite-level athlete. He's a fine athlete, but he's not going to have, like, Saquon Barkley, Antonio Gibson level speed. Okay. But after this, we got CJ Stroud, Will Levis, and Bryce Young. Bryce Young at the 106, just a phenomenal selection. I understand that a lot of people don't love future Chicago Bear Bryce Young. I get it. Yes, usually those quarterbacks coming out of college, like a CJ Stroud, like a Bryce Young, if you're coming from Alabama, you're coming from Ohio State, and you were surrounded by the best wide receivers in college football, the best offensive line, it's hard to translate that whenever you go to the NFL and you're with a crap roster. But come on, with Bryce Young, I don't think Alabama was the best roster in college football this year. And everybody's been saying he's the #1 guy in this class for a while now. And yes, I'm joking about him being a future Chicago Bear. I think it's a possibility. I don't think it's a guarantee. Now, we're looking at Quentin Johnson before Jordan Addison as well. Not a massive Johnson over Addison guy. I understand that they have similar profiles. I am going to prefer going Addison right before him as of now, as long as we have Jackson Smith and Jigba off the board as the wide receiver 1 there. Okay, so let me go ahead and figure out where we are going to go with the next one. We probably shouldn't be talking, and instead we should be looking at this draft board because I am, oh dear God, stuck here. Do we just end up, oh my gosh. Do we just end up going with a tight end? Just like when we said with Kyle Pitts as a rookie, like we've said with every rookie tight end forever now, Sean Tucker's probably the better pick. If we get the official size and speed that we're looking for from Sean Tucker at the NFL Combine, I'll be more willing to go in that direction. For now, we'll go with the tight end. He checks every box. He should be phenomenal. I don't know. I just hate doing it so much because it doesn't really matter how good the tight end prospect is. He's not going to produce right away. If he's not going to produce right away, why the hell are we taking him when we've proven historically that those rookie tight ends, I believe it was 75% of the time, they lose value from one season to the next. So if he's not going to produce, and if he's most likely going to be losing value, why the hell are we taking him? We probably should have taken Sean Tucker. I think Moose Goose had the right pick there. Or Downs. I really like Downs as well in this range. With the running backs, honestly, it's very difficult for me to evaluate the guys that aren't at the very, very top until we end up getting the official combine numbers. I know combine doesn't matter for the majority of the positions in the NFL. Running back, it really does matter from a fantasy football standpoint. It correlates strongly with NFL draft capital, which correlates strongly with opportunity at the NFL level. So we've proven with historical analysis, we wrote a 100-page draft guide that athleticism at the running back position, NFL combine numbers with size and speed matter so damn much. This is why we called guys like Isaiah Spiller and Kyron Williams must avoid options. Before it was cool to do so, we said you couldn't draft them at all. So I'm going to be hesitant to have any strong takes with the running backs until we get those combine numbers. We'll go through, we'll get another draft going. Let me just show off this draft board. We're not doing a third round because the main issue that you're going to see is with Sleeper, they don't have all the rookies added up. You'll notice that there may be a few names missing here. Very frustrating. So we're not going to go 3 rounds deep. Hopefully Sleeper gets everybody added in relatively soon. That way we can start doing some 3-round drafts. But let me go ahead and grab a new one. This time we'll mix it up a bit. So let's go 104 here. And I'm going to grab this link. We'll send it at the same place we did last time. We'll just post this on locals real quick. But I really don't like our selection of Mayer in the second. The thing is, tight end at the 201 when there are quality running backs still available. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, so the link was published on locals. If anybody wants to get in this next draft with us, we are going to be at the 104 in this one. And real quick, if you have not done so already, please make sure you go down there and drop a like on the live stream. It does help us out a ton. Looks like about 30% of y'all have hit that like button. So thank you so much. But let's get that up to 100%. What are we doing? Let's have 100%. Okay. And Zach, I didn't see that you were not a moderator. Let me go ahead and make you a mod. I'm sorry about that, my friend. Okay, so I think we should be good to go. We got Noah in this draft at the 108. Happy to see him in here. Let's start this bad boy. I know where we're most likely going to end up going if this is the same as what we had in the last draft. So Zach ends up getting Bijan at the 101. I think that's going to be consensus until we see maybe landing spot. If he falls to the second round and goes to a horrible situation, then maybe he falls from the 101. But in reality, he's going to be a first-round draft pick, so he's most likely going to stay there. Bryce Young at pick 2. Bryce Young would have definitely been the guy that we were going with if we had the option. So I think, honestly, we're probably going to end up taking C.J. Stroud here. Now, I've said this a million times over, but the Dynasty community is horrendous at evaluating quarterbacks. Casual NFL fans are horrendous at evaluating quarterbacks. I would be horrendous if I came out here and tried to be like everyone else and try to evaluate quarterbacks. What I do instead is look at NFL draft capital, which indicates opportunity and job security, the landing spot they go to, as well as rushing upside, because when they do start, rushing upside is going to help them score a crap ton of fantasy points. So really, those are the only 3 things that I'll look at, even though I will admit it is very scary seeing the track record of Ohio State drafted quarterbacks. Let me pull this up. And this is something that we were talking about earlier on. It's just that these quarterbacks, you go to Ohio State, you get the best roster ever imaginable, and then you get drafted at the top of the NFL draft. And you just end up being a bum. Okay, so Chicago Bears 2021, they take Justin Fields. Bust. Just worst passing offense that you've had in the NFL since 2009, combined with the fact that, hell, they just got the first overall pick. Do not try to tell me that was not a bad pick. Okay, so Dwayne Haskins, 2019. Bust. Okay, Cordell Jones is a super late pick. I don't want to even hold that against them. Terrell Pryor. Troy Smith, Craig Krenzel. We're back at, has there ever been a good Ohio State quarterback? Literally going back to 92. And like I said, you can't scout the helmet. I know that's not something we should be talking about too much. It just does scare me a tiny bit with Stroud. And like I said, I'm still taking him at the 104. So it's not like I'm saying you can't draft him for that reason. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Okay, we were going to take Zach Evans here at the 203. Who do we go with instead now? Sean Boute's off. We'll just go with the running back. He's a year 4 RB, so I don't love it. A running back that a lot of people were excited about for the NFL draft last season. Then, of course, he goes back to school. I don't know. I mean, it's just so damn hard to figure out what we should be doing with these tier 2, tier 3 running backs until we have the official numbers to put in our model. Now, Mike says calling Fields a bust already is unfair. Say he's a phenomenal pick in fantasy. If you took Justin Fields in fantasy, especially in redraft leagues, phenomenal. But I don't know. Can y'all please let me know the last time a quarterback in year 2 was on the worst team in football and then turned out to be a good quarterback afterwards? I genuinely, I'm asking that. I'm trying to know. Year 2 or later, any year other than their rookie season. When is the last time you had a quarterback finish with the worst record in the NFL and then turn out to be a great QB the rest of their career? So he's a phenomenal pick in fantasy. And I don't want to turn this into a Justin Fields video, but come on. Okay, so I think that should be it. Let's probably plan on doing this next week as well. Hopefully Sleeper gets the ADP a little more organized. We have the entire player pool here and we can expand the rounds out. But I'm very interested to dive deeper into these rookies. Like I said, we definitely need to spend more time on these tier 2 running backs. I feel very comfortable with our wide receiver evaluation at this point. Quarterbacks, we're primarily going to rely on what we get with NFL draft capital, landing spot, and rushing upside, as we already said. Okay. Thomas says, T-Law finished last year. Yes, that was rookie season, my friend. Trevor Lawrence was in the same class and just beat the Chargers in the playoffs. I don't think you should be using him as a comparison to say Justin Fields is good. But anyway, thank you again for coming out. Truly do appreciate y'all. Really do hope you have a great day. Of course, if you want to get in a draft with us, if you want to check out any of these player props, Underdog Fantasy, link in the live chat, link in the description, link in the comment section. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar, $200. But thank you again. I appreciate you. Really hope you have a great day and really hope we get to see you with the video tomorrow.